bass, mash up the place. And fuck you.
Close
what's next? Let's go. Cause I'm feeling like I'm winning and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. But I know that I don't and I won't ever stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day. If you really wanna pop me, just know that you will never pop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go and then I gotta get it, then I gotta flow and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think he be doing cause it doesn't matter cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about a thing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clearer to a couple niggas that I always win and then I gotta get it again and again and again. And I be doing it to death and now I move a little foul. A nigga better call a rap and everybody know my style. And niggas know that I'm the best when it come to doing this. And I be banging on my chest and I bang in the east and I banging in the west. And I kinda give you more and I would never give you less. You will hear it in the street and you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it and we all up in the race. And you know we gotta go now trying to keep it with the pace. And we struggle and hustle and to set it and to get it. And we always gotta do it, take it to another place. Gotta taste it and I gotta grab it. And I gotta cut all through this traffic just to be at the top of the dome. But I know I gotta have it. Let's go. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. Let's go.
Trying to find Miss Know-It-All. And I got my cup filled. You see how them bucks peel. Young pimp. See, I grab me up a chicken just chill. In the back of the club with a stack full of dubs. Drop it low like a pro. Bring it back. That's what's up. All my dogs up in here. And it's dope. Every way. Call it stop like you don't care. Throw that money in the air and say yeah. Keep it